Discussion about yard management systems with my guest Colin Mansfield. He is Vice President of WMS. Hello, Colin.
Hey, Bob. Good to be back.
Welcome. Yeah, thanks for being here with me. Let's talk about yard management systems, which are themselves YMSs.
Yes.
What are the different varieties that are out there for systems to consider?
Yeah, no, great question. There's two main varieties that a lot of organizations that are looking for a YMS end up kind of weighing the differences between. One of them is going to be a bolt-on yard management system. This could be, for example, a system they already have, like a warehouse management system or a TMS, transportation management, and they offer perhaps a additional module that's a yard management piece.
I see.
So that can be very common. The other variety that's most common is going to be a dedicated YMS or a dedicated yard management system. This will be a vendor who only does yard management. That's They wake up every morning, that's all they think about. So two very different approaches and a lot of differences as far as functionality and integration potential and all of that. But when you boil it all down, those are really the two you're going to fall in line with.
When it comes to effectiveness and sophistication and, the quality and advancement of the technology, would you say that yard management is up to the level of warehouse management inside the four walls of the warehouse?
That's a great question. You know what? It brings to mind a story of, one of my boss at one point visited a production plant, and inside they're using advanced robotics and automation. Out in the yard, they're using clipboards and pieces of paper.
Yeah,
right?
That's what you hear a lot.
So I would say for a long time, that was not the case. The warehouse management side was well more advanced than the yard management piece. But these days, I would say, yeah, they're on par. The difference is longevity. A lot of the warehouse management systems that are out there have been around for a long time. They've done a lot of iteration. They've really kind of honed in on the best features and best benefits for their clients. On the yard management side, a lot of organizations out there are, 10 years old or newer. And so because of that, there's been not as much, I would say, iteration, but at the same time, when you look at, at a show like this, when you go around and you look at what's available out there, a lot of these organizations are learning very quickly.
Yeah, they're very distinct roles that those two types of software play. Is it important that they talk to one another in any way, that they communicate efficiently?
I would say crucial. Yeah. Integration in this industry is just paramount. And having systems that can very easily connect to each other. That's what we say whenever we're helping a client is, hey, go out, look at the market, but integration is going to happen at some point, and it's going to be something you need. So whether that's an appointment flowing from a transportation management system or if it's a updated load status from a WMS, you're going to need that.
Okay, so let's talk specifically about the sophistication of yard management systems, specifically the role of AI and automation first today and in the future. How do you see that?
Yeah, that's what's on everyone's minds, right? Right now is artificial intelligence, AI, computer vision is another buzzword that gets thrown around a lot. There's really a couple places where AI has the most opportunity in the yard. The first of which is the gate. We think about the gate, we think about a guy or gal out there with a piece of paper, are you allowed to be here, checking them in, looking at their driver's license, can be very manual. When you add a layer of AI to that, it really does up both the sophistication, but also the simplicity. And what I'm talking about is a camera, for example, that tracks the trailer number, the carrier name, looks up an appointment, checks that asset in, can even open up the gate arm. And now you're totally touchless. The vehicle can come right in. And the same thing on the outbound side. I saw a metric the other day that freight fraud, a huge cost in the industry, $10 billion annually.
Yeah.
Something like AI at the gate to validate that the right truck's leaving with the right trailer can make a huge difference for operations experiencing theft and fraud.
But going forward, there's got to be more that AI can do in the yard. What might that be?
Yeah, a huge piece is tracking trailers when they're actually on site, right? So once they get in through the gate, where are they in the yard? Well, for a long time, the answer to that question was, well, let's put a sensor on a trailer, right? Put an RFID tag or something else. A lot of folks have experienced the pluses and the minuses of that approach and are now looking at how are there other ways we can do this. Computer vision introduces a very interesting potential answer. Seems like a lot of the companies out there that are doing this are still kind of working through some of the bugs. So we'll see. But I think that it offers a huge amount of potential.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But beyond that, AI offers the promise of being able to crunch so much data.
Oh yeah.
Analyze so much data that then you could then use not just to monitor the moment of what's going on the yard, but to analyze how you can better manage your yard. Is that happening now, or is that a future possibility?
No, I'm fully in agreement with you. Historical data, taking that, look, there's entire jobs that are just dedicated to data science, right?
Sure.
Taking this information and how can we improve for the future. So you're 100% right. I haven't seen a lot of solutions that are doing that now.
Really?
That said, I think that it's inevitable. I can take a spreadsheet, put it into the chat GPT and get some fascinating results right now. And I think it's really, we're looking at months instead of years until that becomes
Yeah,
something
of course,
that
you're
is
not quite
involved.
sure about the accuracy of the results with GPT yet.
Sure.
That's getting better, I imagine.
Sure.
Sustainability, big word, is a priority for many organizations in every aspect of the supply chain. Where does it fit in the yard? How far are we going? How far are we? And what do we need to do to improve that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I like to think of this in terms of an analogy, the iceberg effect, where you've got 20% above the surface. That might, in the yard, represent the challenges an organization faces.
Yeah.
Where they say, we know that if we have a YMS, it's going to help us with visibility. It's going to help us with expediting that gate check-in, et cetera. They don't know necessarily is the other 80% below the surface. And for a lot of organizations, sustainability fits in that. I was talking with a company who, after implementing a solution, they said, wow, our yard drivers aren't doing the Easter egg hunt around the yard looking for trailers anymore. They go exactly to where they need to, which means they're not doing extra moves, which means their CO2 emissions were cut in half.
Sure.
So that's one potential area. We see a lot of companies in California looking to, streamline the wear reporting process there in California. And a YMS presents a great opportunity to track and record, and then for potential audits, present that information.
I mean, the very basic thing is trucks delayed in a yard are idling.
Yes.
And you have emissions coming out right, there as well.
Absolutely. The faster you can move things in and out, the lower the idle time is.
Great. So there's a lot of progress being made in YMS then, right?
Absolutely.
A lot to look forward to. Thank you very much, Colin, for that great insight into what's going on. But I would like to ask you specifically about your YMS.
Yeah.
That is your company called YMS. Who are you guys? And I assume you're in this business. Tell me about what you do.
We are Yard Management Solutions, and you're absolutely right. YMS, it's a great acronym for Google, but it's also our company name. We've been in this industry for over 10 years now, and on the question you asked earlier about the two different kinds of YMSs, we're a dedicated yard management solutions vendor. So we provide and present yard management system that is incredibly advanced, doesn't rely on any sensors. But this year at the show, one of the neat things that we are presenting and that we're actually up for the Best IT Innovation Award for is OCR cameras at the gate there. So this is a new frontier for us. We're really excited to be joining some other big players in this.
OCR, they're actually detecting what? Detecting the vehicle, the person, the documents?
It's actually the entire trailer, whether or not there's a trailer there, but then also the trailer number, linking that to an appointment and telling the driver where to park based on intelligent rules built into the solution.
Great. Colin, thanks again for being with me again. I really appreciate it. Thanks for talking to me today.
Thank you, Bob.
I was speaking with Colin Mansfield of YMS. Thank you very much for watching.